Hello, beautiful people. Here I am again with another live on dreams. And this time, the astrology that we're going to talk about is Libra season. So I'll give it a minute for people to join. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. So I'm just going to do some intentional breathing here. I have some Hathor music playing, so I'm just going to enjoy that for a minute. Let some people come through and just drop into the space here. Awesome. Okay. I feel pretty grounded. It has been an interesting beginning to this week. And I'm hoping that the energy gets a bit lighter here as we move closer to the weekend and the moon finally reaches her first quarter phase in Sagittarius. And I believe she's already in Sagittarius right now. So I'm hoping that in the morning I will wake up to some fresh, optimistic energy. And so I want to talk about dreams, as I mentioned. We'll talk about Libra season, and I'm going to mention this for the people that are here already. If you have a dream that you would like to share and you want to get on camera, that would be amazing, and we can interpret the dreams together. And if you have any questions, if you don't want to get on camera, but you have questions about dreams or the current astrology, definitely feel free to just pop them into the comment section. So, every week I upload the cosmic climate on my YouTube channel, which is an astrological forecast of just the energy that's coming through, of course, along with the astrology, the alignments, the shifts. I pay a lot of attention to the moon cycle and what she's doing, and I pay attention to the phases that she reaches in the course of the week. So we began this week with a waxing crescent moon in Scorpio. So myself and a lot of people have, reached out and said that, hey, it's been, just sharing what's coming up, but it's definitely been a heavy start to the week. And, for myself personally, and I know from others that have been sharing, it's not that I'm sad or depressed. It's almost like it's just like an energy surrounding me. And there's so many things that personally I have going on, I'm excited about, and I'm inspired and I'm motivated, but I'm in one of these flows where I just feel some resistance of getting things done, right? And I know the sun is in Virgo. The sun's making an opposition to Neptune retrograde this week. I believe that it already happened. The sun is also going to make a trine to Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So there's a lot going on. Like, I want to say it's not even beneath the surface, but just very subtle, right? I almost want to say like in the back of like my mind, or just the energy behind me. And so with that said, speaking about the cosmic climate, what I'm really getting to is that I also pull the oracle card. And the oracle we received for this week is the Go-To Cola, and it's an oracle message from the beginning of May. So whenever I pull an oracle card, as I do these weekly readings, and I get a repeated card, right, a repeated oracle, I immediately remember or go back to when we received that oracle message. So I am someone who journals consistently. At this moment, I think I definitely have 3, maybe 4 journals going on at once for different things. I'm a record keeper. I keep records of just energies, my own personal intentions. I have a manifestation journal, and I keep the records of these oracles that we receive. And a lot of you that, follow me here on Instagram, you also watch my stories, and you'll see that I post the oracle message for the week there. And so when I see a repeated oracle card come up, I go back to when we were received that before. And so for this week, we received, as I said, the go-to cola. And I, honestly, I should have the card here, and I don't think I have it on me to show you all. But the key word with the card was higher consciousness. And we received this card back on for the week of May 8th through the 14th. So pay attention to what is coming up for you right now, and reflect back to the beginning of May. What was coming up for you at that time, right? What were you doing? What intentions and goals did you have? What was the energy around you? How are you feeling? And think about that, reflect on that. And then as you're in this present moment, also connect with where you are now. Is it similar energies? Are you still dealing with the same things? Have you accomplished your goals? And what I'm getting at is that there is a connection between early May and now, and really this whole span of time, right? From the first and second week of May all the way up until this point, there is a connection in the sense of there's something here. There's a missing link or a connection that really is going to bring this state of awareness or enlightenment, essentially. Like you're just going to have a aha moment, right? And so I'll share my experience with this. As earlier today, I reflected on it because I do the work too. I try to, when I share these things with everyone, I do try to do it myself. And sometimes I always don't keep up with it. But I was in one of those modes where I have so much to do, and I don't really want to do any of it. I want to do it, but I just don't feel pulled. And I feel pulled to look through my journal. So for myself, reflecting back on what was coming up for me at the beginning of May was when I started my 28-day ritual. And that was such a powerful moment for me this year because first I'll share that the intention I had at that time with the 28-day ritual was to open all my chakras, get them in alignment, right, and clear. And within that process, my goal was to integrate the divine intelligence of my higher self, right? And so there was a 28-day ritual of waking up, having meditation, measuring my chakras with a pendulum, saying my mantras, journaling, being very present in the moments. At some points, I would go outside and sit in the backyard and do my mantras. I would also do fascial maneuvers as well to clear the space in my body and to instantly get out of stress mode, which I'll be sharing more about that as well. And that was very powerful. By the time I finished the 28-day ritual, I definitely felt different. I felt clear. I felt powerful. And I immediately wanted to do it again. I was like, okay, I want to do a 28-day ritual on something else, right? And I shared it with my one-on-one clients, and they did it themselves. And they also had a very powerful self-transformation and wanted to do it again. And that was really powerful for me, or in this moment, to reflect back on that time. And it was just like an aha moment. It was like, oh my gosh, that's the key, the 28-day, right? The connection to the moon, the connection to just the concept of a ritual and a routine is very important in the sense that we are, with the ritual and the routine, it helps us come into presence, right? Into the present moment. And that's something I'm picking up for the astrology right now. And so where we are as far as the astrology and just the cycles of nature, we are approaching the autumn equinox here in the northern hemisphere, and in the southern hemisphere it's going to be the spring equinox. So this is the vibe or energy of balance. And this is really important in the sense of what is coming through and also what is coming up at this time. And so with even just the concept of the scales, right, and thinking about Libra, there is the the experience of extremes, right? And so being pulled to this extreme, being pulled to that extreme, right? Is it one or the other, this or that? And really what we're being guided to do, of course, is to find that center point, to find that moment that moment of peace, right? And what I'm feeling the moment of peace now is the presence and being present in the moment. And I've been really doing my best at being in the present moment. That's been really a strong practice of mine as of recently, because if you are someone, if you're a mom or a parent in general, I shouldn't just say a mother, but if you're a parent, you know that it's really hard to find that peace, to find that present moment where just everything's quiet. You know, it's just you can be in the moment with yourself and your own energy, and you're not caretaking to, you know, your child or needing to do this and that and multitasking, right? And so it's really been a powerful goal of mine to find these moments of peace within my day. And what I really, again, come back to is the ritual, the routine. And this is the aha moment for me. And even yesterday, I was, you know, reading about just parenting things with toddlers, and they always speak about having your kids on routine. And I'm just someone that I flow. So it's really hard for me to have a strict routine. Like, okay, we're going to get up at this time, and we're going to have, especially as a mom with a little one, like having a specific snack time and having, you know, specific playtime where I play with her. And it just really gives me anxiety. Like this was coming up yesterday because I don't do that. We don't have a designated snack time, playtime. We just free flow, which works. And at the same time, today, when reflecting back on, you know, what is really essential for presence is the ritual, is the routine, right? And so I'm sharing this here in hopes that, you know, maybe someone, you know, maybe one of you, you know, might need to hear this, that a ritual or routine is really essential at this point in time and moving into the rest of the year, especially even not even getting into the rest of the year, but especially getting into the eclipse season, right? So eclipse season begins on October 14th with a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. And so what I'm getting at with this with Libra season is that this is a bit of a staging point here with the sun moving into Libra. And once the moon moves into Libra, that's when, you know, shit's really going to get turned up, right? And I really have been, I think it's interesting that I've been connecting more with the moon cycles as opposed to the solar cycles, right? Usually as an astrologer, we tend to follow and put a lot of attention into, oh, it's the season of Libra, the sun's into Libra. And right now I feel a little bit of that energy creeping in, but I mostly have been feeling into the moon cycles, which makes a lot of sense because I've been talking about dreams, or I've been really connecting into dreams. And again, with that 28-day ritual that I started back in May, my next intention after the 28-day ritual that I completed, I decided, oh, I want to jump into dreams and I want to really go deep with my healing and understand the most intimate, darkest, mysterious aspects of myself by paying attention to my dreams, right? And to actually write them and see what messages I get. And I'm going to be fully honest, when I jumped into that next 28-day ritual, I started paying attention to my dreams, of course, and they were like pretty much nightmares. They were really, really intense and really scary. I got to let my cat in. Perfect timing. So yeah, they were really intense and really scary. And so I took a moment from writing my dreams. It was really, really heavy, and I needed to be in a space where I felt grounded and was ready to process and integrate and really confront also what was coming up through my dreams, right? So it's interesting to be in this moment, right, on the other end of the spectrum, and I'm back into the dream space and I feel really grounded, and my dreams have actually been a lot lighter, I feel, in the sense of just not heavy, dark, and scary, right? Not nightmarish, but they've been intense dreams that have been really uncomfortable for me. So for those of you just joining, I am talking about how in the oracle that I received this week, or for the week this week, is also an oracle that we received back in the early part of May. So we received this oracle from May, for the week of May 8th through the 14th. And the oracle was the higher consciousness, and it talked about enlightenment and expanding the mind. And what I was talking about a lot at that time also was ESP, extrasensory perception, and just our level of perception and changing the way we see things and really tapping into our sensuality and our senses. That's what was coming up for the collective. So bringing that all the way to now, the focus, at what I'm picking up on is, it's still that element of perception, but it's more so really perceiving within the shadow, within the darkness, I would say. And yeah, so, and what else is coming through too, also, because I am starting to get scatterbrained here with all the distractions. What also is coming through is presence, right? And so I know that's a strong lesson for me, is presence, right? And as I spoke, the practice of a ritual and a routine will help to allow presence, right? Being in the moment and knowing what to expect and just having a flow, but it's almost like a structured flow. And I feel a little bit of this coming from Virgo, right? So, I'm going to go ahead and just start pulling some cards just to get some direction on what I want to talk about. But if you all have any questions or, comments, of course, leave them below. If you want to share your dream and we can talk about that and you come on camera, that would be great. That would be so much fun. I will share that my dreams this week have been not as abundant as they usually are. And lately there has been one recurring person in my dreams as an ex-boyfriend. And it was funny. It's a ex-boyfriend that I feel that I fucked up in the relationship, in the sense of, I kind of broke up with him for good reason. I wanted to move away from home, essentially. Like, I was sick of being in DC, and this is like right before I moved to Colorado. I went back to school, to college. And so, yeah, we broke up, and we are good friends. We're still friends now. And, I don't know, it was just someone that I was like, oh my gosh, why did I break up with you? Like, you were awesome. And for some reason, maybe there's something still there, but I've been holding on to, maybe there's something still there that I've been holding on to, but the past, couple days, he's been in my dreams, every single dream, every night. And I just wasn't even thinking about him like that, in a very romantic way or anything. And it's just really interesting. So, that's been kind of the theme in my dreams lately. I haven't been having dreams about cars, which is usually a theme. Hey. But we'll see what's coming up in the cards here. And I have my astrology oracle deck. Come on. You're gonna come up or what? Now she's biting me. Okay, let's see what we get here to direct my focus. Little Miss Scatterbrains. Okay. Divine, what? Oh, we already got something. Okay. Oh, Earth. Okay. I don't think I've received that oracle before. Okay, do you have 2 more here for us? Wow, talk about being present. It's okay, focus on Earth. This is where we are. You are here. We are here. Okay, that doesn't count. Anything else? Any other Anything else here? All right, I guess it wants me to talk about Earth. So this is interesting. I never have gotten this card here. And it's funny because I'm looking at the glyph, the symbol for Earth, and at first it made me think of the lot of fortune, right? The fate marker, that I call it the fate marker in astrology, which is essentially, you could say it's the wheel of fortune in the deck, right? Or in the astrology. And so what I'm getting as I'm just connecting with this energy is that this is reflecting or bringing to my attention the cardinal directions. Sorry, one second. Distractions everywhere. Oh my gosh. Go on. Please don't knock back on the door. Okay. Wow. Oh, hi, Raven. Okay. So yes, reminder to connect, right? So this is bringing to my attention the changing of the seasons, the wheel turning, right? The cardinal directions. And with the equinox, right? That's the focus of equal day, equal night. And it's really interesting because the equal day, equal night doesn't actually happen on the day of the equinox. But what we can receive from the day of the equinox is the actual cardinal directions, what is due east and what is due west, right? And so if you were to step outside, around this time and watch where the sun is setting, that is exactly west, right? That's your due west for your location. And it changes as we move through the seasons, as we move, around the sun in the span of a year, it changes. And at the times of the equinoxes is when we can see, what is actually west and what is actually east. And what I feel called to is connecting again with these directions, with the earth, with the cycles of nature. And that's something else that I was doing back in May as well. And one of the reasons why I was actually late coming to this live is because I had to go out and look at the moon. And it's funny, it wasn't that I didn't want to, but I was just like, oh no, I'm going to be late. But it's like, okay, I'm going to talk about dreams and astrology. How am I not going to connect with Luna? Like, I felt like she had something to say. And the message is slowing down and being present. And I feel that, I don't know about any of you, but there's a lot of energy around and it's been hard to stay grounded. I don't know. This is like a this week type thing. It's been really hard to center myself and really be present in the moment with so much going on. And so as we're coming into the space of the equinox, this is the time to really find that sense of peace. And I do feel a way to do that is through ritual. And it could just be in the sense of have a specific time every day that you have that moment of peace, that you have that moment of silence, that you go outside and connect with whatever's in the sky at that point. If it's the moon, if it's Saturn, if it's during the day and you're sitting out in the sun, just get outside and find that present moment in nature, right? Okay, so I'm going to see if there are more messages coming through with this astrology deck here. Ooh. Yep, there we go. Okay. So as I was talking about the 28-day cycle, the dream cycle, one of the things that I have noticed for myself, and then it was confirmed by my friend who does a lot, has a long practice with studying dreams and connecting with dreams and doing that type of healing work, is that for women, your dream space actually is super active when you are in the luteal phase, luteal phase, luteal, right? And so this is the phase in between ovulation. So right after you ovulate and right before you bleed is the span of which you probably have an abundance of dreams, just crazy dreams, very active. At those points, I realized that I can't even write everything down. There's so many dreams coming through, and I have an awareness of all of these dreams, right? And that it makes a lot of sense, because that is when the energy is really coming up to prepare to be released. And what I feel is that we are in this moment, possibly even this week, in that space of everything kind of coming up to be released, to make space and to find that peace. And it's interesting that while we just had a new moon, right, and we're coming up on a full moon soon, energetically, I feel almost like a release period, right? Where it is we're a lot's coming up, and it's almost kind of subtle, right? And I feel that it's pushing everything up to create space for us, and again, to create the presence. So if you are feeling a lot of that energy coming through, and maybe you don't really know where it's coming from, I feel pay attention to your dreams at this time too, because it might be in connection with either your cycle, and you can get some insight from that. And just the way the energy is flowing around us is just so much that in order to really, catch what's really coming forth is to find the peace. That's what I keep coming back to, is find the freaking peace, which is absolutely Libra type energy. Okay, so we got another card here, which is the 7th house, which is also, I hate to associate houses with signs, but the 7th house is dealing with relationships, right? And Libra also corresponds to relationships. And this is pretty perfect in the sense of coming out of Venus retrograde in Leo, and really just being able to be ourselves within our relationships. And again, as we are looking at what has transpired from May till now, and really the bulk of the energy, right, from July 22nd was when Venus went retrograde, and then we had a few other planets retrograde. Then after that, Mercury went retrograde. There's a lot of reflection. And with Venus, I really felt she was basically taking the lead role on what was of significance. And it was more so on self-worth and on taking the lead within how you show up, right? How you show up in relationships is really, really important. And looking at the relationships as they are reflections of the energy that you are, putting out, right? And so with Libra in this sense here, with relationships, hold on, let me just connect, because I'm connecting it here with Earth. Yeah, I feel with Libra in relationships and just connecting in with the Earth energy, it's making me think of just the container, the groundedness of safety, right? Safety within relationships and being able to show up as who it is that we are in the relationships, the sense of worth, right? And in order to do that is that we are also, again, being guided to really be present with ourselves, with our own energy. And again, slowing down is important, because in the sense of slowing down, one, again, reflecting back on where you were back in May and where you are now, you'll be able to see all of the changes, everything that has transpired, your growth, the challenges, the people in your life. As you have been doing the work, have the people in your life been treating you differently? How are you showing up in these relationships is also important. So let's see if there's anything else here, and then I'm going to go to the tarot. But there's just like a lot of energy around me. And if you can keep up with what I'm saying, Goddess bless you, because I don't know. I feel like I'm just saying stuff at this point, but it's stuff coming through, but I feel that It might not make sense like literally, but energetically, I think it will. Okay, cool. So we have the moon here, and this is a waxing crescent moon, which is the moon phase that we are currently within, right? And so this is speaking of growth here. Okay. Yeah, so now I kind of see where this is going. With Earth at the center here, it definitely also feels like it's pointing to our manifestations. Again, reflection. I keep feeling this flow of May until now, especially thinking of Earth energy. And in May, it was Taurus season. We were in the middle of an eclipse season, and Mercury was retrograde in Taurus at that time. And Mercury just ended its retrograde cycle in Virgo last week, right? And so there is this energy of Earth, this creative connection between Taurus and Virgo. Sorry, I'm almost up. Come on. And you're in. You're staying. Come. Come on. Silly kitty. Okay, so the Earth energy, the creative connection between Taurus and Virgo, where Taurus, and again, it was that perception, the sensuality, the extrasensory perception coming forth. And then with Virgo, a lot of the Virgo, Mercury retrograde in Virgo was like healing and integrating what came up, what had transpired. And so with this, and Mercury in reflection mode in retrograde is really preparing us or guiding us and creating, again, a safe container for our manifestation, for our goals, for our visions, for the future, and really for our purpose, for service. When I think about Virgo, it is acts of service. It is being in support, healing, right? And we are in a point where we're healing ourselves, right? We are taking care of ourselves first. And by taking care of ourselves and showing up in relationship, being authentically who we are is healing to others that we're in relationship with and that are open to grow. And those that are not open, we will see them, there's going to be some space created, right? There's going to be some space between us and them, right? And so with this waxing crescent moon, that is really just bringing to my attention that we're growing, right? This is just the beginning, and there's so much more to come through here. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards. Okay, Tess Burke. It says that you requested to be live in the video. Are you wanting to share a dream? Sometimes people hit requests on accident, so I want to just confirm. But I'm totally down with that. Okay, I think your request, your request is still there. Yeah. All right, let's see what else is going to come through here. Yeah, so if any of you want to chat about a dream that you've had recently, I would definitely love to hear and share and interpret it with you. And I would love for you to join me on camera because it's probably going to be, too much to type. Oh, wow. Okay. Can we get one more card, please? One more. Por favor. Oh, I thought one flipped over. Okay. Yes. All right. Wow. Yeah. Some intense energy today. Have any of you been in your head today or this week? I know I have been. And the cards are really reflecting that for sure. Okay. So, 3 of Swords. Ooh. My dream was about trying to cross a river, but a well was blocking my way. Okay. You want to come on camera? I'm definitely down. Let me just I'm going to chat about these cards real quick, and then I would love to chat with you about that. Okay. So as I mentioned, Three of Swords being in the head. I've been in my head this whole time. I'm sure you guys have really probably noticed if you watch me live, if you watch my videos often, and I'm showing up right now, very authentic. I'm in my head. I'm feeling a lot of energy, and my cat is in and out, which is very distracting. So I'm just keeping it real, and seeing this Three of Swords, it just feels, okay, let me just tap into more of this, right? Seeing the Eight of Swords, right? So with the Eight of Swords, this feels interesting. I was going to say, it feels like I'm being, like there's a block, right? But it's also, it looks like there's an opening, like there's a door, but there's this crocodile here. And this is bringing me to the concept of the feather being, the heart being lighter than a feather, like in the Egyptian mythology, where you're in the underworld, and this is the point that it's decided if you reincarnate, if you resurrect, if you're reborn, or if you are, you know, if your soul is lost, is gone, right? And so that is determined by weighing the person's, you know, weighing your heart against the feather of Mayat, right? And if your heart is lighter, then you can resurrect, you can be reborn. And if it's heavier, then it is eaten by this crocodile head goddess. I can't remember the name, but that just made me think about that, right? And so it almost seems like we are, you know, the message here is there's access, right? But it's like, almost like, are you ready, right? Like, get it together, right? I'm talking to myself. Okay. So yeah, this is, are you ready? Are you prepared to weigh that heart? And with the Three of Swords, you know, in any other deck, the Three of Swords is a heavy card, right? It's an intense card with three swords through the heart. And whenever I see the Three of Swords, not necessarily in this deck, but in my other deck, in my Rider-Waite-Smith, that's one of my trigger cards, right? And it's almost, I get the feeling that it is worse in my mind than it actually is. And so if you're feeling this energy, this message is for you, right? And so what I'm getting here is, again, cutting through the heaviness, like letting it go, clearing space, being present. That's really, really important before we decide to move through the opening, move through the portal. And with this Nine of Wands here, did we get the Nine of Wands last week? I feel like we did. With this Nine of Wands, this one also feels like a bit of a barrier. There's so much going on here, right? This is already speaking to a barrier. There's so much going on. We have the Scarab of Transformation. Who else is on this card? There's the Feather of Mayat on this card as well. Yeah. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try to get one more card here, and then I'm gonna bring Tess up if they're still here. Okay, so can we get some additional messages? Wow. Okay, coming out real fast. I'm gonna keep shuffling. Nice. King of Cups. All right, let's see what we got. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, I love tarot. So beautiful. Okay. So we have the moon. This definitely came up last week. I think I remember this coming up last week. So I remember the black and white pyramids, one with the door, one with Venus and Aquarius, or the one that has the door has Venus and Aquarius. The other one is black. And personally, I'm feeling drawn to the black pyramid, right? I'm feeling drawn to the mystery, and I don't know. Maybe this is where I'm at, right? Maybe I'm not ready to come out of the death portal yet. I know I'm ready. I'm so ready. This actually fell on the Nine of Wands and the Three of Swords, okay? So There's something there with that, right? And it's okay, yeah, it's an illusion. What we're thinking about, what we're overthinking, what we're like constantly processing, like analyzing, processing, doing the monkey mind mental game, whatever that is that we're going over and over within our minds, it's an illusion. It's not real. Yeah. Okay. So the other card we received is the Death card. As I was speaking about the scales, right? And it's interesting because on this card, there's actually, I want to say it looks like a pharaoh, but then it looks like he's holding an ankh, right? So this might be a god. The art is kind of a bit tricky here when it comes to the hieroglyphs. I think it's Demotic script, but I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this looks like interesting. He's heavier at this moment. He's heavier than the feather of Mayat, so that's standing out to me. Okay. Yeah, this is really, really interesting. And then the third card here is the King of Cups. Now, this fell on the Eight of Swords. So I'm going to come back to this. I want to see if Tess... Okay, Tess is still here. So let's see if we can get you on camera. So I'm sending the... Next up. Oh, okay, there we go. Tess, are you there?
I am.
Your camera's facing the table.
I see that. So sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Today's a day.
Yeah, I'll let you look at this since I have no idea. Okay, how do I change this?
Maybe. Oh, there you go. Hello.
Hi.
Right?
Yeah, Tessa.
Awesome. Thank you for being on camera with me. This is awesome.
Yeah, no problem. Yes.
So you have a dream that you would like to share?
Yeah, it's very, very, very strange. I dream almost every night, and I normally do remember my dreams, which is kind of good and kind of bad, I suppose. Um, It was really short, but I was trying to cross the river, and a whale showed up, but I only saw the tail end of it, and it was diving deep, but it wouldn't let me cross to the other side, and the water was dark.
Ooh.
And that's all I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you feel? Do you remember your feeling like in the dream, like your emotion or just
Frustrated for sure.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
feel similar after you woke up? Did you feel that same emotion?
Oh yeah. Yep, all day. And probably the next day and the day after.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience analyzing dreams, but what really came to mind when you shared that is that there's like water is always kind of corresponds to emotion.
Yeah.
And so what I'm getting, especially since it's dark waters, and when I think about even the well, it's always in like really like in the ocean, like the big, deep, dark part where like people don't really go, right? And I feel that the diving into it and only even seeing the tell is interesting too, but I feel like you're being invited to dive deeper into your the unconscious realm, or making an intention to even invite or connect with what's like deep within you that maybe you've been kind of pushing off,
Yeah.
and what with the dream work is, I have been really bringing up so much from the unconscious, even though it's been kind of on the surface. But the clearer you are and the more intentional you are about, okay, I'm going to actually write this down or remember, in hopes that I'm getting guidance and healing from it, then there's so much that comes up, so much within, you know, just what was in the dark,
Right.
if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, that does. Yes, that definitely rings a bell.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you often with wells or water or anything like that? Like, do you have any of this was recurring for you?
No, but every night I say I want to dive with the whale,
Ooh, nice.
but it hasn't happened. So not yet,
Yeah.
anyways. I'm working on it still.
Yeah, I was gonna say the frustration that you felt in and out of the dream feels that, yeah, there's like some resistance there that you're
Yes, definitely.
you know, that's the resistance is what you have to connect with first in order to dive with, you know, deeper with the well, or dive deeper into the emotion. So it could even just being like having a safer space where you feel comfortable going deep with your
Mhm.
emotion, maybe what could come up, or even
Right,
having a specific, you know, bedtime ritual to create that safe space, like that presence to initiate you into going deeper.
right. Well, I try every night. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
have to keep me updated when something comes through, because I have a feeling something's going to come through. I've been having so many people saying, "Oh, I never remember my dreams," or "I don't remember dreaming," and now after
Oh,
you've been talking about it, I'm remembering all the dreams.
I dream so much. I think I could write a whole book on my dreams. They're wild.
Mm.
Yeah.
What's your big three? Your sun, moon, and rising?
Um, I'm double Virgo
Mm.
with Pisces rising.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is kind of a good time for you with dreaming, with
Yeah.
being in that the Virgo lunar cycle, I would say. So
Right.
do you
Yeah.
write dreams too? Or
Do I what?
do you write write your
Um,
dreams?
I tried to. I used to keep a log of my dreams, and then it was so much. But I'm thinking maybe I need to start again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I have the feeling if you start writing the dreams,
Mm.
you'll be able to even link. I feel that, yeah. Or even writing before you go to bed, which is something I do. If there's something I really want, like how you had that intention, I want to dive with the
Oh, yeah.
like writing something. It doesn't have to be long, but something about that, or just, you know, what that would be like, what you imagine that would be like if it's like a nice, like smooth journey and like a flow,
Right. Yeah.
what you just have being playful with it. I feel something that would open that up, you know, and invite that in for sure.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. I think I would definitely try writing it the night before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
You and keep us updated. I would love to hear how that works out for
I,
you.
I will now that I know how to use this too. So thank you so much.
Thank you for joining.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
I think you have to just hit the X on your screen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna.
All right. If there's anyone else that wants to come on live, definitely comment. I would love to hear about your dreams. Thank you so much. I know it can be a lot to navigate Instagram if you haven't used this feature. So I really appreciate those of you that hop on, those of you that comment. Yeah, that's really interesting. I will have to look at the meaning of wells as well, because as well. I feel like that's pretty significant too. And that's a powerful animal, I feel, to show up in the dream space. And especially, I just think about the energy of water just in the space of dreams, and the hiddenness of water is what's coming through. I really feel that. And it's so deep and so mystical. It felt like Pisces. It felt a little bit like Scorpio energy too, just the deep dark waters and what's beneath. And it seems like a really amazing adventure. So yeah, if you have any dreams, definitely please feel free to share. And I'm gonna get back to the cards here because I want to see what is coming forth. And I do feel that Tessa's dream also kind of comes in with this energy that I'm picking up on, especially because as I was seeing here that there is the dark pyramid and then the light pyramid, and for some reason I'm drawn right now to this dark pyramid. I'm like, I want to go in there. What's in there? There's no door, right? And I feel that that kind of corresponds to the dream space and the darkness, the, you could say even the void I can get from that too. But what is in there is such a mystery. I'm really feeling that. Okay, Raven, you're feeling weird about being on camera. I understand that. If it's not too much to type, you can type it as a comment, whatever you want to share about it, and then we can chat back and forth. So you don't have to come on camera, totally up to you. But yeah, what I totally understand. I'm feeling weird about being on camera right now, and but I am holding myself to my word and my commitment of being here every Wednesday for the next few weeks, because I really just enjoy connecting. So thank you all for being here. But yeah, so with the energy coming through and with these cards, I'm just going to wrap it up. Oh, are you going to be on camera? I see your request, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit view request and accept you. Whoops. Okay. So I'm going to accept. Then I'll wrap up the cards after this. Just going with the flow.
Well, you
Yay.
said you felt the same way, so why not?
Yeah, I think it's the
Right?
energy. Just like, woof. There's
Yeah.
so and it's good, but it's like hard for me personally to stay grounded. So
Oh, I know. I hear ya.
yeah.
So I had um for years, I want to say for since my early 20s all the way up until I don't know a few years ago, I have a reoccurring dream about this house.
Mm.
And every time I would go into this house, this one room would be haunted. And I knew that I couldn't go in this room, and it terrified me. And I'm like, nope, not going in that room. And the next time I'd go back in the house, then I would try a little bit more until that room wasn't haunted anymore. And then another room would be haunted, and it would repeat until the house wasn't haunted anymore.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So it is pretty wild. And I remember telling my mom, and she just said that she thinks that those are parts of things that we needed to maybe look at, heal wounds. I don't know, haunted, parts that, does that make sense? So when you clear that and you heal that, then that room isn't haunted anymore. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So did you go into the rooms in the dream, or it was like a note that you it wasn't scary anymore, so you didn't even have to go in? Or
Um,
so did you?
yeah, no, I, hmm, no, it was my dreams, and I think sometimes though that I can, like, that last conversation that you had last week with Christopher and saying that you can create and make things happen. So I knew, even though I was terrified, I'd make that dream come to me again so that I could explore these rooms. And frig, man, I remember there was one dream where I'm looking in the attic, and I can see and it's always an old home, and I can see the staircase going into the attic, but then on top of that staircase was another smaller staircase that kept going to this attic. So that was the last one that I had to try to go in. It's freaking wild. I've never shared this with anybody because I was like, people are gonna think I'm freaking nuts or something. So yeah.
No, that's yeah, no, that was definitely what I got right away was like, okay, these are little parts of within yourself that you are not wanting to access and it seems scary. And then, yeah, it makes sense as you've healed, as you've done the work, then
Yeah.
those self, aren't scary, especially when you think about the house being the place of security and comfort. And if
Yeah.
like if you're in a house, I mean, I've lived in haunted houses before,
Same.
and oof, like
Yeah.
you don't want that space after a certain time, or you, like it
Mhm.
just sits with you, right? And even if you're like
Yeah.
in space in the whole home isn't super comfortable because there's that thing over there. So that
Yeah.
makes you're doing your own healing and even getting more confident within yourself and comfortable and everything in your own skin and being who you are,
Mhm.
that those spaces will just naturally clear. And so I think that, see, I love
Mhm.
when you just, it's so creative and it can be intense, but it
Right.
has very ways to just show you what is going on, you know,
Yeah.
beneath.
That's, yeah, especially, absolutely. And now, if I have something that's kind of similar, it's just very short, but it's something completely different. It's not that house. It'd be something weird, like an apartment that makes no sense or something. So,
Huh.
yeah,
Does that feel good that you, so wait, when's the last time you've had the house in your dream or
about a
been in?
month ago.
Oh,
About a month ago. Hmm.
I was
But
going to say that.
it wasn't that house though. I was in a really weird apartment where half of my apartment was like a weird like automotive garage and it was all open and I'm going, what the hell's going on in here? So weird shit.
Oh,
Like,
automotive.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
interesting. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's bringing in the transportation car themes, which I think for me is
Hmm. Have to
that
sit
my
down.
dream symbol has been a car, which my mom named me after a car. So,
Hmm.
so she's like, oh, if I can't buy a Porsche, I can still say I have one because I have you. I named you after the car. And I'm like, okay, yeah, because that's how it works. Sure.
Aw.
But it's
Yeah, yeah.
having dreams about my recurring symbol has been about cars. And the very last one that I had was the one where it was a white Porsche. And my mom has a white, her car
Mhm.
now is white. And of course, she loves Porsches. So, and I've been having my healing work has been with like really standing up to my mom in the sense like, hey, this is who I am. Like,
Mhm.
I'm for me, I'm not explaining myself anymore. And so the dreams have been about cars and having control and other people driving or I'm driving. And so it's been really interesting how our psyches like are really unique and creative with how they show us
Yeah.
symbols.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, this was
All
fun.
right. Yes. Have a good night, beautiful.
You have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, so back to the cards, and then I'm gonna wrap this up here. Thank you so much for sharing on camera. I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna do this again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Hopefully, I am a lot more grounded and hopefully I'm clear. But again, maybe it's all in our minds, right? Maybe it's all in my mind. So I'll be back here to do another live next Wednesday. I'm going to also be live on YouTube tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to talk about the equinox and I'm going to pull cards and you can ask me anything there on my YouTube channel, which is at Urania Universe. Okay, so bringing this energy all together, the first triad of messages, the first three messages we received was the Three of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. And what I'm picking up with this message here is a lot of activity in the mind, a lot of energy around us with the Nine of Wands, a lot of desires. And one thing that I've been really paying attention that my dear friend Mary has pointed out to me many times is that I tend to get excitement confused with anxiety, or somehow my excitement turns into anxiety, right? And so I feel personally, my experience, that's what's going on with me. So that might be something that's coming up where there's so much energy, there's so much to be excited about, but then it quickly turns into anxiety because just all the things going on and we might not be efficiently grounding ourselves or dropping into the present moment and really giving our attention to what is in front of us. So with the Three of Swords in this deck, it's not as intense. It doesn't really bring that fearful factor like you might see it in other decks. And I think that's really important, that it's speaking to us that it's all in our minds, right? And here with this Eight of Swords, usually this feels like a card of restriction. And even with the Swords deck in this, or the Swords cards in this deck, I do see them as blocks, as restrictions. And in this particular card, not necessarily so. I feel there's a door opening, right? But again, there's the crocodile here. And what this is asking is, are you ready to be judged? Are you ready to resurrect? Are you ready to be reborn into this next phase of your life? And it's okay if you're not, if you want to take some time and just be in the dark pyramid here, which I guess that's where I want to be right now. I really connected with that. And yeah, give yourself time, give yourself space, and really, I feel once we drop into the present moment, once we give space, then in that moment we'll be ready, right? So that's kind of what I'm picking up here. We have the King of Cups, which this is an interesting energy. Let's see. I didn't really connect with this one. I feel like he's just patiently waiting to, like, he wants to get up, right? And there's this giant cup above his head, this giant chalice. I almost feel like it's a spirit guide, like, okay, we're waiting, you know, we're ready to do this. So it's almost like, honestly, okay, what I am picking up on, spirit guides, yes, but also the people, the community that we're meant to connect with, those that we will be in service of, whether it's even just, we can be in service by simply being ourselves and being present within our intimate relationships, right? And so whatever it is for you, this is representing the people that are waiting, you know, for that activation, that connection with you. So yeah, they're kind of waiting for us to get our shit together and to clear the space, become more present. And yeah, I feel really, really good with that. So on that note, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to talk more about Libra season tomorrow. Maybe I'll just share more on my story and in my reels when I ground myself. And so, yeah, I hope you have a beautiful night. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you again, Raven and Tessa, for joining me live and sharing your dream. And I'm looking forward to hearing updates and everything. So have a good night, everyone. Have some sweet dreams, and I'll talk to you again soon.